For the final time this preseason, I take a look at my biggest winners and losers from the Bears preseason finale as they storm back to take down the Kansas City Chiefs 29-27. My name is Harrison Graham. Not just the biggest winner of the game, but the biggest winner of the week. Round of applause to Tyson Bagent. Number 17 deserves our love because what a comeback, what a week as he signs that 2-year, $10 million contract extension. Well-deserved because, like Ryan Poles said last week on the broadcast, nobody works harder. He played the entire second half, 20 of 28, 212 yards, 3 touchdowns, including the walk-off to Jahdae Walker, who we'll talk about in a little bit, with 2 seconds left. I don't care that it's deep backups. You go 87 yards with no timeouts and under $140 to win that game. Like, that had to feel pretty damn good if you're Tyson Bagent. And he's had a hell of a camp, and I just like this guy a lot, man. This is a guy, he's got the right attitude. He's got the right mindset. He believes he can be a starter, but he's not going to cause drama because of it. He prepares like a starter. That way, if that day ever comes with this organization or another one, he's going to be ready to go. I think there are a few teams in this team he could start for. Who knows? We can't predict the future. We know quarterback shit always goes down with the Chicago Bears. We're all rooting for Caleb. I think it's going to work out, but man, what a week for Tyson Bagent. Couldn't feel better for the guy. Hell of a performance to cap off the preseason. Show TB some love. Like this video. Send the good vibes up for Tyson Bagent as he's had a hell of a camp, a hell of a preseason. Just keeps getting better. All right, Olamide Zaccheaus, want to mention him for a second straight week. The Caleb to OZ connection is clear and obvious. We've heard about it all of training camp, and we saw it last week on the slant, and Zaccheaus for 36 for a touchdown, and tonight, 3 catches, 37 yards. I think in the quick game, Caleb is most comfortable throwing to 14 because he gets open, slants, drags, quick hitters. He also can work the intermediate game with Zaccheaus as well. That connection's good. It's a good connection. There's been good things with Rome, who had some good moments, but Rome couldn't squeeze that deep ball on the right sideline. I think those two are close, but I think Caleb and OZ they're in sync together, so that's good to see. I think OZ is going to kind of be that security blanket for Caleb, and just a guy that Ben Johnson can generate easy completions to early in this season. So looks like he's going to have a big role on this football team. Daniel Hardy, a guy that Ben Johnson shouted out in the postgame. Listen, right on that bubble, we know he's a good special teamer, but that edge position's pretty thin, and what did he do? He went out there and had a strip sack. And it might have been a scoop and score for Zach Pickens, or at least 20 or 30 yards on the return had they not initially ruled down the Chiefs quarterback on the play, but it was clear the ball was out. Classic peanut punch on the backside pressure from Daniel Hardy. Ben Johnson said he was, quote, tremendous in this game, and not many defensive linemen and edge rushers were. So want to shout out Daniel Hardy. I think he's on the right side of the bubble coming out of this preseason. I think he was firmly on it until the end here. He's not a textbook Dennis Allen defensive end. He's a little smaller, but, for the second straight preseason, I thought he's flashed as a pass rusher, and we know that he, runs with like a chicken with his head cut off on special teams and is just lighting people up. So thought it was a good night for him on Friday night, and I think he's probably in position to make this 53-man roster, at least initially. Now, Sean Hammond tweeted out the note that Ben Johnson announced after the game that Austin Booker is going to be out for a few weeks. Now, is that 2? Is that 4? Is he a candidate to go on short-term IR? Is he going to be ready week 1? I think regardless of his status, you could make a very, very strong case that the Bears need an edge rusher. And we're going to get to losers later on, but little teaser here, just no pressure from the defensive line against the Chiefs, none whatsoever. So I think it's a pretty glaring problem heading into the regular season. Dennis Allen is certainly going to get more exotic when the regular season was here, but that is something that stood out through most of the night, other than Daniel Hardy's good rep there for the strip sack. Do the Bears need to add an edge? Type Y for yes, they do, or type N for no, they do not. All right, I want to reveal these guys together, Jahdae Walker and Maurice Alexander, because I talked about this a little bit during our live watch party, but I think this wide receiver thing is getting pretty interesting. Let's talk about their individual nights, and then we'll kind of big picture it from this wide receiver and how many they keep on the roster. Jahdae Walker, all three of his catches, 37 yards and a touchdown on the final drive. And you're probably thinking, well, final drive, I mean, who's even playing? But he's playing with Tyson Bagent, and it seems like those two have built a pretty nice connection. So, like, I've seen him make more plays than Miles Boykin. He certainly separated himself from like the Samari Torres, the J.P. Richardsons of the world. He's got size. That toe tap catch to start that final drive was unbelievable. I don't care who you're going up against. That's a high-level acrobatic play. He's got good body control. He's had two really nice touchdowns in the preseason, one on a true kind of fade ball, moon ball from Case Keenum in the opener against the Dolphins, and then just that kind of BB back shoulder fade from Bagent to win the game on Friday night. I think Jahdae Walker can play. Like that would be a guy I would not shake my head at making the 53 at all. Ideally, if you cut him, you get him back to the practice squad, but he's got special teams upside too. Blocked a punt last year for Texas A&M, almost blocked one against the Bills. He's intriguing to me. And then Maurice Alexander just quietly has put together a nice preseason. I think he had like 9 catches in 3 games or something like that. He's got return ability, and I think a nugget about him that's interesting is he was on the Lions practice squad last year, so Ben knows him. And you know who we haven't seen the last couple of weeks is Devin Duvernay. He got hurt before the Bills game, didn't play against the Chiefs either, and I think they brought him in here to be the returner and kind of a gadget receiver. Well, Maurice Alexander kind of does the same thing, so depending on Duvernay's status, do you give the nod to Alexander? We know that the top 4 are DJ, Rome, Zaccheaus, and Burden. So, again, do they keep 5? Do they keep 6? And if they keep 5, who is that 5th? I would still probably guess Duvernay, but is Alexander in the mix? If they go 6, is Jahdae Walker in the mix? Is it Miles Boykin? I think these final wide receiver spots are something to watch because the top 4 are really good, but the next 4 are pretty intriguing too in terms of who they keep on the 53. So definitely something to watch as we go through the next few days as cuts will start to come in. All right, we are sponsored by Prize Picks. Daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get $50 in lineups once you play for just $5. And listen, Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy sports app in North America. Preseason's wrapping up. College football is here, and week 1 for the big boys is going to be here pretty soon as well. Get in on all of the action with Prize Picks. The way it works is simple. To set a Prize Picks lineup, you pick 2 or more players on 2 or more different teams and pick more or less on the stat projections provided. Passing yards, receiving yards, combo stats, other sports are available, and you are good to go. You get a freebie for week 1. Dak Prescott more than half a passing yard. You pair that with just one other play, and you got a 2-player lineup ready to go. So be sure to check that out. Get started with Prize Picks today. Once you play your first $5 lineup, you're going to get $50 in lineups when you use code CLNS. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 in Prize Picks lineups once you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups once you play for just $5. Use the link on screen as well. It's in the comments and in the description. prizepicks.com/CLNS. Code CLNS. Prize Picks. Run your game. All right, let's get to losers here. Nahshon Wright. Look, he's going to be on the roster. I think he's done enough in camp to be on the roster, but for how much they have raved about him in camp, for how much reporters who have been at camp have said his name every day. There's Nahshon Wright with another breakup. Nahshon Wright, here he is. In the 2 games where he's gotten more than just the 3 snaps he played in the middle game, against Miami, gave up multiple catches on the opening drive. Okay. Against Kansas City, has like a double penalty, which I think was actually ruled incorrectly. I don't know why both of those would be enforced. Regardless, face mask PI, doesn't matter. Committed a penalty, I think on a 3rd down, and Tyquan Thornton just dusted his ass. And I get Thornton's kind of a burner, but it's like, come on, man. He's kind of like the offensive version of you. He's a journeyman. You've been a journeyman. You've had this great camp. He's had a great camp for Kansas City. but he just kind of embarrassed you. He created like 5 yards of separation on an easy go ball for about 40 yards. Tyreek Stevenson gave up kind of a little goal line fade, back shoulder touchdown, but I feel like he's been stickier in these games in his coverage. I think he's got to be the CB2, and I hope Jalen Johnson's ready week 1, because if you have to go Nahshon Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, I don't know. I know Dennis Allen wants to run press man. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that consistently against Justin Jefferson, regardless of Jordan Addison's status. So, again, I don't want to overreact, but this is a player who has kind of been an underachiever in the NFL. 3rd-round pick with Dallas, didn't do much there. Ends up in Minnesota last year, didn't do much. I think he's earned a roster spot, but you're telling me he's got a chance to start? I don't feel super comfortable with that, especially given the current status of the pass rush. Okay, Braxton Jones. I have not sat and watched every single snap, but and maybe it's just one of those deals when he gets beat, he just gets beat bad, and so it seems worse than it is sometimes. But Leo Chenal just dusted him one time, and you're just like, ugh. Like, I think he's going to start week 1, but I think it's almost just by default. It's like they've seen good things from Theo Benedict, but that's a stretch. Ozzie wasn't quite ready to take the job, and Karan Amagaji, who Ryan Poles didn't even mention when talking about the offensive tackles during the broadcast. That could be a red flag for Amagaji. That's a different conversation for a different moment. The good news is Joe Thuney will line up next to him when he's out there, so I don't think it'll be a disaster, but I think Braxton Jones, you're kind of just hoping just be decent. Like, especially early on. It feels like he's just, that ankle isn't, he's not all the way back to what he was, which was never great, but it was good. It was serviceable. It was above average. I haven't seen above average. I've seen average at best, below average in a lot of moments. So I don't think the Bears are very pleased with how this left tackle competition has played out, if I had to guess. Then the starters as a whole. The offense came on their last 2 drives, put together a field goal drive and a touchdown. The touchdown was against mostly 2s, though, so we got to be fair with the context. But I thought Caleb salvaged enough of a night to not be in the winner category, but not be in the loser category. I thought he bounced back nicely. But just came out flat, both sides of the ball. That's a bit disappointing, right? You're coming off this high, you crush Buffalo, and then all week, hey, they're playing their starters, we're playing our starters. This is the team to beat over the last 7 years. Let's go out there, and it's one thing to just be like, well, they're just better than you, and that's clearly the case. I mean, breaking news, the Chiefs starters are better than the Bears. We shouldn't be surprised by that. But A, it wasn't that competitive, and B, I didn't think they matched their energy. I thought they came out flat, especially the defense. Some of the offensive stuff was just self-inflicted. You had the kind of the just operational mistimed jet sweep. Then Colston Loveland has a false start, so that killed the first drive. And then the second drive, Caleb takes a bad snap. So I think offensively it was more a bad sack, I should say. It was more self-inflicted. But the defense just Jaquan Brisker, who I'm excited is back. I think he's going to have a good year. But Travis Kelce is making him miss after the catch. Travis Kelce is still good. He still gets open. He's not the same player after the catch that he was even just a couple years ago. That was a really bad rep. And then we alluded to it earlier, but just no pressure from the front 4. None. And I get Grady Jarrett's not playing and Austin Booker's out, but it's didn't say Montez Sweat's name once. Where is Dio Adengbo, your free agent addition? And this is why at times in the offseason I've brought up Trey Hendrickson and even mentioned Micah Parsons. Well, Harrison, we can't go get those guys. And I get it, especially Micah. It's probably unrealistic. And Hendrickson, even recently, I've kind of slowed on that. But it's are you going to be able to get pressure with 4? I think Dennis Allen's going to blitz a decent amount, but you can't blitz 50% of the time. At times, your front 4's got to make hay. And I get it. It's preseason. It's vanilla stuff, both sides of the ball. I thought Dennis Allen called a pretty vanilla game, but it's man, can Montez Sweat win a rep against Jawan Taylor? I mean, what are we doing here? So I thought that was pretty underwhelming from the starters, but especially the defensive line. I mean, that was a rough showing, and the defense as a whole. I mean, just secondary wasn't good. Just wasn't good. It just was not good. It's nothing to freak out about, but I did not think it was a good night from the starting defense. Lock us in because breaking news is going to be dropping over the next few days. Cuts are going to start to roll in on Friday. Teams who played on Thursday started to make cuts. So don't be surprised if the Bears are making cuts here. And depending on when you're watching this, they may have already made some cuts. So we'll have it all covered here on the channel. If more cuts come in, we'll break that down. I'll have my final roster projection either Sunday or Monday, probably Monday, because that's an easier video to do in the studio. And I'll be filming content from home this weekend. So keep that in mind. But any breaking news that drops, any cuts that come in, we will have you covered. So do not miss out. Okay, a couple more here. I'm not a hate the refs guy. I try not to be, at least, but I thought it was pretty bad. I think they screwed up that double foul call. I think only one of those should have been enforced on Nahshon Wright. There were a couple calls where, and I'm not the conspiracy theory of the Chiefs get every call, but even in the preseason, you're like, that was a foul. That was kind of weird. And then the Bears hit, or Tyson Bagent got hit as he threw the ball, and they called roughing the passer. And I'm like, that should not have been a foul on the Chiefs guy. And then this whole virtual measurement thing it's just not working. And at one point, I think it literally didn't work, and they had to run the chain gain from across the field, and the ball is half a yard short. You can see the marker on the side where it's down. It's like, guys, it's not even close. Why are we running the chain guy over here? It was just slow. I'm just like, come on, man. This, and they're throwing flags every other play. It's it's week 3 of the preseason. You meeting a quota? You like a cop? I mean, what are we doing here? I thought it was kind of a choppy watch at times because there was just no fluidity to the game. And then lastly, Cairo Santos. Nothing. I wouldn't say it's anything to freak out about, but he did doink a 47-yarder. Not great. Inside 50, he's been virtually automatic in his career, so hopefully that's just an outlier kick. And then he had an extra point blocked, which that was more on the protection guy on the left side, but that was an issue at times last year. Remember, they had the blocked field goal against Green Bay that cost them a win. So just a slight thing to monitor, but I still feel good overall about Cairo. He banged in that 57-yarder in the first preseason game, so I think he'll be fine. But that 47-yarder that he doinked, he clearly didn't hit a great ball because it was left all the way and didn't straighten back out. So just something to kind of touch on there. All right, preseason's done. Who's ready for Monday Night Football? The wait is almost over. If you are ready for the Vikings, type me. If you're not and you're nervous, that's acceptable. It's going to be fascinating, man. That is going to be a fun build up to that game, and then probably a nervous game day for your boy here. So hopefully it goes well. But type me if you're ready to go, and follow me on Twitter too. This is a big time to follow me as well, because as these cuts come in or when news drops, initially you're going to see me tweet about it. So at HGramNFL, give me a follow over there. DMs are open as well if you want to talk ball. Always down to do that. My name is Harrison Graham. Bear down, and we'll see you soon.